Remember to hit the thumbs up button and to subscribe. Oh, my hand. Bye bye, enjoy the video.
What's going on? Mr. MVP back with another video. Remember to hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and share. Here is an essay that I wrote for class. The essay was to try to get Star Wars 1 into the Film Society for, say, our film history. They already have one of the Star Wars movies inside the film history. This is me attempting trying to get Star Wars 1 inside of it. Here's where you'll learn a bunch of stuff that a lot of folks do look over since they watched it as a kid or still look over it now as adults. Alright, let's get into the video. Star Wars. Everybody knows it. Star Wars. What did you picture in your head? Was it two people swinging lightsabers? Are you young or old? But that does not matter, because we all grew up watching some form of Star Wars. Me personally, I think about Star Wars 3. It was so important that you already added a Star Wars film to your collection to be kept forever. So why not Star Wars 1? Star Wars 1 is the groundwork and the basis for the rest of the story in the Star Wars franchise. By showing us the most important players to the whole saga, Anakin Skywalker and Chancellor Palpatine, also making ties into the real world and real world problems, ranging from war, council, and even predictions. The legendary film has it all. Star Wars 1 was the start of one of the most influential films to ever pass through the theaters, giving inspiration to the well-known creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, and many others. As we know, many other artists and people in shows say they model their life after Dragon Ball Z, which vicariously falls back to Star Wars. Toriyama may have watched the earlier Star Wars films from the past, but Star Wars 1 helps give foreground to the film, which you could only get in the novels back then. And with background, it gives the later films much more emotion and love as you watch how it all started in that universe, especially with Anakin Skywalker. You watch as he grew up into Darth Vader and where his love for Padme started. The nameless amount of people and characters that was made of model after Anakin and Darth Vader is endless. The fact that you get to call them two different people because they are so different from the innocent little boy in Star Wars 1 is saying something. Young Anakin is someone we all can learn something from. Young Anakin was born into slavery and had to watch as his mother was punished and as he worked as a slave too. But through all this, Anakin was still able to keep his childlike mind and dreams. Yeah, sure, most kids may not notice he is in slavery, but they can still look to him and see someone who accomplished his dreams and winning the pod races. It means much more as an adult or someone who is aware that the boy overcame slavery and was able to win his freedom. If we look back to even the past of our own country, could be to fight against slavery and how hard it is to get out of it. A whole civil war was started and still did not free all the slaves immediately. This may be a film and somewhat plot armor, but still pulls on the heartstrings. Not many films in sci-fi universe has done this. Young Anakin made the best he had out of his slavery life. First things first, Anakin was able to keep his childlike mind to be able to dream because of his strong, independent mother, who gave a virgin birth and ever since then was able to feed Anakin and later two guests in the film. So how did Anakin get the parts for his pod racer and C-3PO? Nobody knows, but it looks like it is made from trash, showing how smart the boy is and his creativity, giving more for our kids to look up to. Not only we have things to look up to, we have things alike and also things to avoid. One realistic thing is the government in this show, or a republic with every planet in their universe having a representative, much like our government. This is something very good, but at the same time can be very bad, for the very same reasons that our government can be bad but good at the same time. The good is that nobody has absolute power. The power is divided among them and they must vote on everything they do. The bad is that powerful and rich are the only ones who hold these seats, and they only care about their own personal interests, and oftentimes because of this greed they only pay attention to the big money worlds instead of all of them, much like Padme Amidala homeworld. And because of this greed, it led to many planets not liking the Republic, which led to a civil war. The realism here is undeniable. George Lucas is showing us here to change our ways, or we will very well start a war of our own. I will pull some from other films because of this character I'm about to talk about. Chancellor Palpatine is the most dangerous kind of human being. A nice one. The Bible talks about if someone who is loved by everybody rises to power, they will be the Antichrist. Chancellor Palpatine is the living embodiment of that saying. Chancellor Palpatine was like the hero that the Senate needed. He always ran to people aid, offering them help. He thought he would be able to get Amidala's vote, but was not able in the film. Since she was a Senate and he thought she would be easily swayed on her vote, Ray C. Fair had this to say about swing voters in his book called Predicting Presidential Elections and Other Things. Are those without strong ideology ties who views about which party to vote for, which still held dear even in the time of war. This was the main tactic he used to sway voters in his favor. Even knowing it would not work on Amidala, it did work on the rest of the Senate when he started his own war. Whoever you vote for or how you feel about it, this could very well happen 20 years later when President Donald Trump almost started 2 wars during his run in office. What if what happened in Star Wars universe happened in our world? Palpatine was a smart man. He was planning this for almost 18 years in his mind. He knew if he ever succeeded, he would need a predecessor, much like other kings and queens. Near the end of the movie, he picked young Anakin and raised him like he was his own son, in hoping to create a dynasty. Lucas has written all kinds of what ifs in this film that is relatable to the real world and theoretically can still happen. Also, some that has already happened. War has happened in many shapes and forms, destroying anything in its way or path. So much so, rules were made to put limits on it. In Star Wars 1, we also learned about the rules of war, and is acknowledged during the film, where one of the generals makes a threat to the planet to give rule to them or they will invade the planet. They surely did, and they surely did. The other general / ambassador was worried, asking, "Isn't this a war crime?" And yes, he was right. The International Committee of the Red Cross put on their website a set of rules that must be followed during wartime, and this was the main one: protecting those who are not fighting, such as citizens, medical personnel, or aid workers. When they attacked this planet, they broke many of these laws, and they killed off most of the citizens, as the film was showing. Another